Hi everyone, it's me Oda here. You're welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to talk about prepositions. So first of all, let us figure out what preposition is. Preposition, if we have to dig into Ukrainian meaning, in Ukrainian sounds like прийменник, and прийменник means something that is near the noun, something that is beside a noun. And it makes sense if we try to realize what is the function of a preposition. So prepositions are these little words that help us connect the words in a sentence. Prepositions show us what kind of relations are between the words, how one word in a sentence is related to another. As I said, prepositions are usually these little words and they don't change themselves. They don't change, therefore the grammar for the prepositions themselves is pretty simple. However, even though they don't change themselves, they demand the change from the words that they belong to. They make nouns and pronouns take different cases. So in English, the prepositions are words like with, in, at, next to, behind, in front of, and things like that. In Ukrainian, we also have plenty of them. In this video, we are going to focus on 10, very popular, very common. We will take a look at how do they translate in English, what do they mean in English. Some of them will have several meanings, and we are going to pay attention to the most popular, the most common ones. And also I will shortly tell you about their grammar. I am feeling pretty excited about this topic and I cannot wait to start, so without further ado, let's jump into learning prepositions. So preposition number 1 is z. Z or z or is, they are the same preposition, just different forms of it. In Ukrainian, preposition z has two meanings: from or with. When z means from, it requires that the noun or a pronoun takes genitive case. For instance, з будинку, from the house, з подвір'я, from the yard, зі школи, from school. And now you might notice that I used зі школи and not з школи. Why is that? And that is because z itself already consists of one consonant, z. And the word школа, school, begins with two consonants. So when we say з школи, we put 3 consonants in a row. And this is the kind of situation that we are trying to avoid in Ukrainian. We tend to interchange consonants and vowels. That's easier for us to pronounce, and we feel like it sounds much better when they are interchanged rather than there are big groups of consonants. Therefore, we use this little e, and z becomes z. Зі школи. Now it sounds much better and very typical for Ukrainian. З ресторану, from the restaurant. Зі стадіону, from the stadium. Зі спортзалу, from the gym. З церкви, from church. З ферми, from the farm. З села, from the village. З міста, from the town. The second meaning of Ukrainian preposition z is with. So when z means with, it requires that a noun or a pronoun that it belongs to comes in instrumental case. For instance, з сестрою, with sister, з братом, with a brother. Here it's rather exception. We don't say зі братом, even though the word brother begins with 2 consonants. Exception. Зі студентами, with students. З людьми, with people. З лікарями, with doctors. З українцями, with Ukrainians. З американцями, with Americans. Preposition number 2, у, в. Again, it's the same preposition. You can choose to say у, you can choose to say в. The meaning will not change. However, we would also follow this rule. If there is this big group of consonant, we would use U in order to make this change. Vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant. And if there is a group of vowels, then we would use V so that we don't have many vowels in a row. So, UV means in, and it takes either locative or genitive or accusative case. Now let's see in details. So when we want to say that something already is in something else, we would use locative case. For instance, у школі, in school, в магазині, in the store, у вітальні, in the living room. For instance, діти зараз у школі. The children are at school now. Гості чекають у вітальні. The guests are waiting in the living room. So we use locative case to say that something is already in something else. But when we talk direction, so it's rather into than in, putting something into something else, heading into this direction, then we use accusative case. For instance, у двері, in the door. So to knock on the door, in English we translate it to knock on the door. In Ukrainian we say постукати у двері. У що? У двері. Постукати куди? In a direction of what? У двері. Зайти у церкву. У церкву. Into the church. Зайти у церкву. To enter the church. Зайти у школу. To enter the school. In order to understand it better, compare these two situations. To be in school. Бути в школі. To be where. Бути де. В школі. Locative case. Подивитися куди. У вікно. Not де, but куди. У вікно. But to enter the school. Зайти куди. У школу. Here we use accusative case because we are talking the direction. Подивитися куди. У вікно. Also accusative case because to look to where. Куди. Not де, but куди. In the window. Into the window. And so on. We also can use a preposition у, в when we talk about possession. And when we talk about possession, we use genitive case. For instance, у мене means I have. У тебе means you have. У вчителя a teacher has. У студента a student has. У лікаря a doctor has. A phrase like that would usually be followed by a verb to be. For instance, у мене є будинок. I have a house. Or у мене був будинок. I had a house. У нього є автомобіль. He has a car. Preposition number 3 would be easier. It is для. Для. Для means for. And it takes genitive case. For instance, для тебе, for you, для мене, for me, для лікаря, for a doctor, для професора, for a professor, для малювання, for drawing, для читання, for reading. For instance, це все для мене? Is it all for me? Так, це все для тебе. Yes, it is all for you. Ці папери для професора. These papers are for professor. Це зошит для малювання. This is a notebook for drawing. Or a sketchbook, in other words. У мене є спеціальне місце для медитації. I have a special place for meditation. I think you can find this little construction with the preposition я useful. It is для того, щоб. Для того, щоб. It means in order to. It is usually, it makes sense that it is followed by a verb. For instance, для того, щоб читати, мені потрібна тиша. In order to read, I need silence. Or для того, щоб поїхати за кордон, потрібно оформити документи. In order to go abroad, you need to fix your documents. Preposition number 4, nad. Nad. Nad means above. Most of the time it will take instrumental case. It will take other cases, but we will not talk about them because it happens rarely. For instance, над нами, above us. Над тобою, above you. Над ліжком, above the bed. Над річкою, above the river. We often say над річкою, над морем, to say that something is on a level that's above the river or above the ocean or the sea. Над столом, above the table. Над вікном, above the window. Над диваном, above the couch. Preposition number 5, pід. Pід. Pід means under. It requires that a noun or a pronoun takes accusative or instrumental case. When we say that something already is under something, we use instrumental case. Think question where. Де. Where under. Де під. For instance, під вікном, under the window. Під ліжком, under the bed. Під книжкою, under the book. Під нами, under us. Під тобою, under you. Під ним, under him. For instance, where is the notebook? Де зошит? Under the book. Під книжкою. Кіт сидить під ліжком. The cat is sitting under the bed. The cat is sitting where? Де? Under the bed. Під ліжком. Під деревом багато листя. There are many leaves under the tree. Many leaves are where? Де? Under the tree. Під деревом. But when we talk direction, like throwing something underneath something or placing something under something, here think about the question to where, the direction. Not where, де, but to where, куди. For instance, під стіл, under the table. Під ліжко, under the bed. Під дерево, under the tree. Let's see how it works in a sentence. Я покладу це під ліжко. I will put it, whatever it is, under the bed. I will put it to where? Under the bed. Під ліжко. Куди? Під ліжко. Кинь це під стіл. Throw it under the table. Throw it to where? Куди? Кинь це куди? Under the table. Під стіл. So, in order to understand this better, compare these two instances. Книжка під столом. Книжка де? Where? Під столом. Under the table. We used instrumental case. But я покладу книжку під стіл. Я покладу книжку куди? To where? Під стіл. Here we will use accusative case. So, де під столом instrumental case, but куди? To where? Під стіл accusative case. Де кіт? Під деревом. Where is the cat? Where? Де? Under the tree. Під деревом. Instrumental, but посади кота під дерево. Place a cat under the tree. Посади кота куди? To where? Under the tree. Під дерево. So, під деревом, де, where, instrumental case, but під дерево, куди? To where, accusative case. And preposition number 6, на. На. Na means on, and it takes either locative or accusative case. We use locative when we want to say that something or someone is already on something or someone. Here again, think question where. Де. on something. На. For instance, на столі, on a table, на стільці, on a chair, на дивані, on a couch. Modest is на дивані, on a couch. На підлозі, on the floor, на траві, on the grass, на полиці, on the shelf, на вікні, on the window. For instance, на столі красива ваза. There is a beautiful vase on a table. Де? Where? На столі. Locative case. Дідусь сидить на стільці. Grandpa is sitting on a chair. Grandpa is sitting where? Де? На стільці. He is already there. However, when we talk direction, it will rather be onto, like placing something onto something or directing onto something, because I feel like onto catches this moment of being directed somebody better than on. Here think the question куди, to where, onto something. We use nouns and pronouns in accusative case. For instance, на стіл, onto the table, на стілець, onto the chair, на підлогу, onto the floor, на вікно, onto the window, на хлопця, onto the boy, на дівчину, onto the girl. For instance, поклади це на стіл. Put it on the table. Put it where? On the table. Onto the table. На стіл. Or присядьте, будь ласка, на стілець. Have a seat, please. On the chair. So, присядьте куди? To where? On to what? On the chair. На стілець. Кинь сумки на підлогу. Drop your bags on the floor. Кинь сумки куди? На підлогу. Here we use accusative case. Compare these two situations. Де твої валізи? Where are your suitcases? На підлозі. На підлозі. They are on the floor already. So here we use locative case. But when you ask, куди мені покласти валізи? Where do I put my suitcases? To where? Куди? Not де, but куди мені покласти валізи? Onto the floor. На підлогу. Here we have accusative case. So, на підлозі. Locative case. Де? На підлозі. Where? На підлозі. But куди? To where? Onto where? На підлогу. And here we have accusative case. Number 7. Перед. 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 Перед can have two meanings. In front of or before. And no matter what the meaning is, it most often requires instrumental case. For instance, перед нами, in front of us. Перед вами, in front of you. Перед публікою, in front of the public, the audience. Перед глядачами, in front of the viewers. Let's make a sentence. Вона стояла перед нами. She stood in front of us. Вона стояла перед нами. It can also mean before, as I said. So, for instance, перед лекцією. Перед лекцією. Before the lecture. Перед концертом. Before the concert. Перед Різдвом. Before Christmas. For instance, зустрінемось перед лекцією. See you before the lecture. Number 8. Між. Між. Між means between. There are some nuances and details, but most of the time the preposition between, між, requires instrumental case. It's the most common case, that's why we are talking about it in this video. For instance, між нами, between us. Між ними, between them. Між людьми, between people. Між братами і сестрами, between brothers and sisters. Між країнами, between countries. For instance, між нами немає жодних проблем. There are no problems between us. Між ними часто виникають сварки. The arguments often happen between them. Number 9. Про. Про. Про means about. It requires accusative case. For instance, про історію, about history. Про політику, about politics. Про релігію, about religion. Про вас, about you. Про студентів, about students. Про навчання, about studies. Про музику, about music. Про батьків, about parents. Про дітей, about children. For instance, вони довго розмовляли про дітей. They had a long conversation about children. Він не любить говорити про політику. He doesn't like to talk about politics. And the final preposition of this video is Veed. Veed. Veed means from. It requires genitive case. For instance, від мене, from me, від тебе, from you, від нас, from us, від відповідальності, from responsibility, від Києва, from Київ. For instance, зараз ми далеко від Києва. Now we are far from Київ. Перестань втікати від відповідальності. Stop running from responsibility. Get your life together. Він пішов від нас, не попрощавшись. He went from us, or he left us in English. Він пішов від нас, не попрощавшись, without saying goodbye. And I am not like him. Before leaving you, I will say goodbye. But before that, I want to thank everyone who is supporting me on Patreon. It really, really, really means a lot. It keeps my channel going. Thank you very much. And to the other viewers, thank you very much for watching and for supporting me with a comment, with a like, with a share maybe. It also means so much to me. If you still have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments section and I will try my best to answer them. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye!